Okay, so it's Monday, February 5th in the evening. I just got home from work. It's about 5 o'clock roughly, and I'm going to dig up my blackberry bushes. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. There's actually 5 up here. I thought there was only 2 or 3, but there's 5 up here. So I'm going to dig them up, try to, and hopefully get them in this evening down below where the blueberries are at that you've seen in the last video. Hopefully these come out as easy as some of them blueberries and not as hard as some of them other blueberries go. I'm not sure how these roots are in these, if they're really deep and broad or how they are. Honestly, I have no idea. But I'm about to find out. Seems like they're pretty loose in there, actually. Heck, I don't even need to dig that out. Is that how blackberries always are? Interesting. That right there. They grow kind of like raspberries do, but a little different. That's why I have more than I thought. I didn't realize these did like raspberries do. But yeah, that was easy enough. That was super easy. I'm going to cut the root off. Hope for the best. Like I said before, I'm not a real big blackberry fan anyway, so if it lives, which it probably will, there's a fair bit of root there. And if they do grow like raspberries, that shouldn't be an issue with that at all. Oh, these old canes ain't hurt nothing by breaking them off. Pretty nice one. Actually, it made a couple. Oh yeah. These actually look like they propagate pretty easily, like raspberries. These definitely take longer to grow than raspberries, but they look like they propagate about the same way. Actually, I think this right here is a raspberry bush. This one here is a raspberry. It's got thorns, really small, fine thorns on them, and the blackberries don't. So I ended up, I'm not sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I got 7 or 8 here. This here, they all, actually this is a pretty nice root one on this one. Some of them's bigger, some of them smaller. all in all, they're all about the same. And I'm just gonna eyeball midways between them two blueberries. It's not that important to me if they're perfect or not perfect, because nothing in nature is perfect. I'm just the way it is. Some things I want perfect, and some things I don't really care about. And this here is going to grow where it wants to anyway, so it doesn't matter at all. And before I plant it, I did put gloves on because my hands are a little chilly. Before I plant it, I'm going to take this old woodier cane and just cut it off. Or not. There we go. I'm going to snip them roots just a little bit too. There. If these do grow like raspberries, now it's going to grow better. And as far as that goes, this will actually be planted a little bit deeper than what the root is, but it's not going to hurt anything on these. I mean, you don't want to bury it, but a little bit ain't going to hurt nothing. And then I'll come through with wood chips. I'll come through with wood chips, and then that'll be pretty much it. That's still pretty wet, but it's not as wet as it was yesterday when I was doing the blueberries. Yeah, but that's pretty much all that there is to this. Like I say, don't think I ever transplanted. Well, I know I never have blueberries. I don't believe I ever really did blackberries either. I wasn't real sure how they did, but now I'm pretty sure this one here, the plant itself is kind of small. The roots are going crazy. So the extra one I have, I'm going to put in with it, but it's not the best looking one. There ain't much roots on that, but it'll probably still grow. And this one here, I'm going to prune back some roots and tops. Well, maybe tops. These pruners I grabbed ain't the best. Not bad though. And I'm getting rid of the darker roots. I'm only going to keep the new roots. Maybe not. Then I'm going to trim them back as well. And I'm sure I'm not doing this perfectly. And I would assume and I hope someone tells me a better way. Like I say, I'm new to this blackberry thing. Not a big fan of them, so I never really took care of them when they were back here. I can eat them. But if I got some, great. If didn't, it ain't that big a deal to me. Well, there's two there too. I didn't realize that. I may cut that one off later. I don't got pruners strong enough with me to cut that off. That actually works better than snipping them anyways. Both of these are pretty little though, so. So I ended up with 7 total. And I'm putting them in 5 different holes. But by the looks of how the roots are growing, they'll propagate themselves pretty easily, which is good in some ways. It's, I'd guess, I'm not 100% sure, but I about half think blackberries only produce every 2 years. Because I never really got a whole lot off of those, but I never protected them from the birds either, and never really paid a whole lot of attention to them. I was always worried about the raspberries and the blueberries. I could have cared less about the blackberries. Get dirt in my eye. But this is going to be a nice berry patch. And there they are, put in the ground. Now I need to go get some cardboard and some wood chips. Put as much cardboard around the plants as what I normally do, for the simple fact that I didn't have a lot of cardboard, and I got some other stuff I want to plant in that little food forest area. So I didn't get as much cardboard in as I will end up getting in. But I got some comfrey and a few other things that I want to put out, and I got some, well, I don't have yet, but I do have some strawberry mints that I want to plant, and a few other perennials, probably some maybe some rhubarb. I'm not real sure on that. We got a lot of rhubarb up above, so I may not need no rhubarb there, but I will need some rhubarb. So for this, I'm not going to put it out as thick as I did around the blueberries the other day, or I don't really care necessarily about the I don't necessarily care about getting up on the stems, because if these grow like raspberries, which I think they do, this wood chips won't hurt the, it won't rot the plant off. They'll root in it. From what I've seen so far of this, and I just put a little bit of cardboard because, like I said earlier, I didn't have a whole lot, and I ain't worried too much about wood chips I'm getting a lot in because I'm going to put some more out later this summer, spring, when I plant more perennials. And also too, I'll probably end up with some annuals in here as well, or at least that's my plan at this point in time. So what this is going to end up being, hopefully before the end of this year, is going to be a small grocery row garden / food forest type orchard place. Am I going to get any fruit this year? I should get some blueberries. How many, I don't know, but I'll get a few. But I won't get nothing else this year, except for maybe some horseradish. It's definitely pretty nice weather for February around here. We've got, I don't know 100% sure what the temperature got to today, but it was right around 50. It cools off pretty quick though. But our normal's probably highs in the upper 30s, lows in the 20s, and it's been in the mornings. It's definitely been cold when I get up for work. I think it was 20 this morning. This right here is it's a burdock growing up in the wood chips. I noticed a bunch up there when I got that last one. I'm gonna throw it on that plastic so it hopefully dries out. That stuff will take root and grow about anywhere. They claim it's really tasty. I don't know. I've never tried it. Not like I said, I'm not putting this on real thick. Just basically thick enough to cover up the cardboard, basically. So this here is the last blackberry. At least for now. I don't have no desire to plant any more blackberries. Doesn't mean I won't. Down here where I can take care of them better than I could up on the hill, I may want to plant more. They may taste better too down here where they are now instead of up there where they was. They tasted good where they was. My issue with blackberries is all the dang seeds that gets in them. Raspberries aren't quite that bad. The flavor of these blackberries are delicious. I definitely can't complain about the flavor of them from up above. They're just so dang seedy. Blueberries probably still my favorite. So this here is going to be part 3 of my building a new food forest series. And I'm new to this game too, so I've never done this before. So we're all going to learn together. I've read enough books and seen enough videos that I think I know how. That doesn't mean nothing. Just because you've seen enough videos and read enough books doesn't mean you know what you're doing. The best way to learn is to just do it. And if something don't work, hey, you know what? At least you tried, right? It's more than a lot of people do. One more thing too. One more thing is that you need to get outside. If you have a garden or property of any kind, even if you don't, you need to get outside and do one thing every day, whether it's 5 minutes long or 5 hours long. His life is way too short to waste it inside a house or in a cubicle or behind the computer all day or behind a welding shield or whatever. You gotta have some life in your life, so to speak. I know I'm bad for that. I work too much, but that's going to change here soon. So we'll update you on that when the time rolls around. But anyhow, I think it's turning out pretty good for what we got done so far. It's going to be hopefully a really nice food forest area, permaculture area. And one thing nice about where its location is it's right below our big garden. So all the flowers and everything else we plant down here is going to bring beneficials. Let me turn around. There you go. Now you can see me better. It's going to bring beneficials to the garden. So any predators that eat like wasps or things like that, ladybugs that eat pests, this should help attract them. Praying mantises, that kind of thing. It should attract them to this area, so then they can go in the garden and take care of a lot of our pests for us. We have birds that around here, fair many birds that do that, help us out a lot. But nothing's better than bugs eating other bugs. Me personally, I like watching a wasp eat a worm. That's pretty cool. I've seen it a few times. But there, I digress. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Like I said, this is part 3. If you didn't see the other 2 parts, they will be linked below in a food forest, permaculture, food forest, orchard. I ain't sure what I'll name it yet, but this is going to be part 3 in that sequence. So till we meet again, take care and God bless.